running, never bothered about what could be coming. Every day we danced and life was smiling. We were young and drunk in love.
Hello everyone! How are you today, tonight, this morning, depending on where you're watching from? How are you all? I am now going to wait a couple of minutes so that oh, hi Magda! I'm going to wait a couple of minutes so that Instagram lets you know we're live. And tonight we're going to talk about visibility with a very, very special guest. I can't wait for her to arrive. And we're going to talk about visibility in relation to personal style and brand style. So how do you dress to be visible in your own way? How do you dress to resemble or resonate with your branding? Last time we talked about visibility from a stress resilience point of view with Dr. Sarah Elizabeth, who is a wellness in the workplace coach, and we talked about how the ask for visibility can impact our well-being and can actually kind of really make us stress, and she gave us some lovely tips on how to kind of create some stress resilience, on how to not let this ask of visibility overwhelm us. And I thought it was really good tips. I am in front of the camera quite a lot for work, and I think they worked really well. So tonight we're going to explore visibility from a style point of view, a personal style point of view. And we're going to have with us a very special guest. I am just seeing that you can see all my hair, and you're not supposed to, because my earrings are supposed to be the thing together, obviously, with my Miss Flapper turban. So we're waiting for a very special guest to be live. I can't see her watching us yet, so I'm just gonna blab away till I can see her amongst the watchers. Her name is Suzanne, and she is a style consultant. She is absolutely amazing. Just after the pandemic, I was really down with my wardrobe, and she helped me get back up and running. I can see her now, so now I am going to invite her to be with us. Oh, bear with me. There we go. He should come on anytime soon. We'll see, and so you won't see just my face anymore. And there she is. There she is.
We did it. Hello, lovely. Pearls.
I know, pearls everywhere. I must admit, I was saying before you came on that after the pandemic and all the lockdown and bits, I was feeling a bit down with my wardrobe, and you really helped me get back in tune with the lot, with wardrobe and accessories and things like that. So yeah, amazing. Oh, I had forgotten about this turban.
Oh, no, isn't it beautiful? One of my favorites, this one.
It's amazing. I really like it. How's things there?
Yes, everything's really good here. We're out of the world's longest lockdown, or sort of out of it. We're coming out of it. So yeah, it's good. Things are starting to open up. It'll be interesting to see how things go. A lot of businesses have suffered, and yeah, a lot of people have to get used to not being in pajamas all day on Zoom and get back out in the real world. And it's kind of scary. Yeah, it's kind of scary after over 200 days of being told you're not allowed to go outside your front door to out you go, off you go.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. It's the same here. Here, well, we've let go like some months ago, and they gradually took off all the restrictions, and it was a bit weird. And like, I'm still wearing a mask in shops and things like that, but
yeah.
it's, you don't have to here. So you've got a very weird mix of people with masks, people without masks, everywhere really. People who actually are being a bit cautious, and people who are just all out. They don't care anymore. It's really weird, but yeah, I think it was a bit needed. We were all too tired, and as you say, lots of businesses really suffered. So I think we need to find a way to go back to living life somehow. So yeah. So would you like me to present you, or would you like to present yourself?
Ooh, okay. I don't know. No, you could say
I can
something
do
and then
it.
I'll,
I've got
yeah.
notes. I've got notes.
Ah,
In reality, I am just going to repeat what you say about yourself.
oh,
I've already
very
said
cool.
while we were waiting for you, obviously, that you are a style consultant, you're a feng shui expert and consultant, a fashion feng shui expert and consultant. And what you say about you, which I really love on your Instagram profile, is that you're a maximalist stylist who encourages and inspires women to wear what makes their heart sing and brings them joy, which I really, really, really like. I
Yeah.
think it's a really right description about you, and having done some work with you, I can confirm that this is exactly what you do.
Oh, thank you, thank you. And it's funny because so many women have got a wardrobe full of clothes, but they don't love them. You
Yeah,
know, they've fallen out of love with them, or they never really loved them. They just bought them because they did. Yeah, and it's so I really believe, as you know, that you should have a wardrobe full of clothes that you absolutely love, that you look in there in the morning and go, oh, I'm so excited. What can I wear today?
yeah, yeah. And it is true, we do buy things because we needed it for work, and the reality is that then they just sit there, don't they? And you don't need them really, and you'd never love them, so you never wear them. So as you know, here we're talking about visibility. And I was saying before you joined, we've had a guest last week, and we talked about how visibility can impact your well-being, because
Mhm.
today there is a lot of ask. You have to be on Instagram, you have to have a website, you have to show your face, and you have to have a photo, a profile photo that is, and so that often kind of impacts your well-being, because there are days where you don't feel like showing up. You feel like living under the duvet and watching Netflix all day. So we got quite a lot of good tips from Dr. Sarah Elizabeth, and tonight we are going to talk about visibility and personal style. This is an episode I'm really looking forward to, because it's a big thing for me. When I redid my branding, people started from me. So they developed a branding which, for my business, which was mostly based around me as a person. And I really love that. So I have some questions, and then if people have got any questions, they can write them in the comment and we can answer them as we go. And then we will give all your contacts, obviously, as usual, so that if people have got any questions because they're watching it tomorrow or in 3 days or in 4 days, they can reach out and ask you their questions, obviously. So my first question is, how, when someone runs a business and it's a one man or one woman business, how do visibility for your brand and personal style come together and intertwine?
And this is such a pertinent question for me at the moment, because I'm actually going through a whole rebranding process for my business, and a relaunching, and I'm even going to have a new business name going forward. So I'm going through a similar process that you went through. And I think to me, they are intrinsically entwined, because if you're building a business brand, a personal brand, it's got to be about you. What's your dream and all the rest of it? And it's got to start with you and your core values. What are the things that make you who you are? You know, what are your values? What are your dreams? And that's where it all has to come from. So whether it's building your business brand, whether it's building your personal style, whether you're decorating your home, it doesn't matter. All those values and all those core things that make you who you are on the inside are the things that we need to get to before we can even start. So it's not as easy as just going to the shops and going, oh, okay, here's a dress, it fits you, let's put that on. No, because it might look okay, it might fit, but you don't love it. It doesn't feel like it's really you. So we've got to get into what those core values are. So yes,
Yeah.
I believe they're intrinsically entwined.
And also a bit, I have got some dresses, for example, that I use when I've got meetings with corporate clients. So I know they you know, they live in a corporate environment, and I've got these dresses which I really like, and I wear them because I like how they fit, I like their feel, I like everything about them, but they're not really my brand. My brand is me, and I am not corporate. I am different. And I used some of those dresses for my last brand photo shoot. And I like those photos. They're okay. But when I pick one, if someone tells me, if say I do a lot of speaking, public speaking, and people always say, send me a photo. I never pick those. I always pick the photos with the outfits where I go, this is me. And then like my mom, who is more corporate, and she, you know, she's got this idea of someone who runs a business being someone corporate, always goes, why didn't you send the one in the blue dress?
Yes, yeah, that makes sense. But, and because to me, if someone's buying your business, they're buying you. You know,
Exactly.
they want that you. They're not coming in to buy, you know, it's what's your point of difference. So it's that whole authenticity. And in order to come across as authentic, as self-confident and all the rest of it, we've got to be coming from inside ourselves, from a place of authenticity.
Yeah, I agree. So we said you're a fashion feng shui expert. So my first question is two questions in one. The first question is, do you want to give people a brief overview of what fashion feng shui is? Because maybe there's someone watching who doesn't know. And connected to that, do you think some styles and some career go together? For example, architects should wear pearls, or I don't know, you know, if you're a lawyer, you should wear a specific kind of dress, or does it not matter and it just depends on the individual?
I come from a place again where we've got to be true to ourselves, but like you just said, there's times when we've got to wear something that's appropriate to that environment that we're going into. So like I say to my clients, it's about dressing with intention. What's that outcome you want at the end of today? What do you want to have achieved? And is there something that we can do or put on you to help you to achieve that outcome? So if you're a lawyer, it's probably going to be wearing a suit, because if you go in your, you know, oversized overalls and all the rest of it, you're going to create doubt in people's minds. So there are things, certain rules and certain dress codes, but then even within that we can play and be true to ourselves. So we don't have to stick to them religiously and rigid. We can play, you know. I had a couple of years back, I dressed a lot of female barristers in Melbourne here. And their dress code is really strict, and they had to wear suits and dark colours and all the rest of it. And some of these girls were quite flamboyant, a bit like you and I, and and they felt really constrained in this. And I said, okay, there's always a way that we can make it feel more like you. It's never going to be 100% perfect. So like you're saying with those photos, it's not going to be your, oh, I want to wear this all the time, but you'll still feel good in it. So what we did was we got these suits made, and on the inside lining, we had the wildest linings you've ever seen in your life. It was so cool and so wild and so out there. And the girls were like, my God, I just love this. And I'm going to feel really good wearing this now because, yeah, it was just tucked away. So they're still expressing themselves, but it was for them.
Yeah. I've got a dress like that. I don't even remember the brand. The only thing I remember about the dress is that it's black on the outside, but inside it's like flowers and colors and prints. And I call it, when I decide what to wear the day before. So at night I say, oh, tomorrow I'm going to wear this. I go to bed and I think what I'm going to wear, how am I going to accessorize it, etc., etc. And when I think of that dress, which is a black dress, I think of it as a flowery dress. I say in my head, so tomorrow I'm going to wear the flowery dress, and then and it is the flowery dress, but if you see it from the outside, it's a black dress.
It's a black dress. That's exactly what I mean. So what you're doing is you're dressing yourself from the inside out. So you're wearing things that make your heart sing from the inside, but it's just that not everybody's going to see that, and that's okay too sometimes.
Yeah.
Most of the time we want everyone to see it. But I did write down a couple of notes here, a little bit about the Feng Shui, and I can just go through each of them and put a couple of elements and things. So maybe if people are listening, there's 5 elements and everybody's a mix. So most people, it'll be very rare for someone to be, oh my God, that is 100% me and I'm nothing of anything else. That's not going to happen. You're going to be little bits and pieces. But this is just a bit of an overview. But what you might find is that there's something that you go, that is not me. So, you know, so some are easy to eliminate, and then we're left with, you know, 2 or 3, and then it's just working out who you really, really are on the inside. But what I've done here is just written a couple of notes, so I'll read them if that's okay. So someone with a lot of water in them, a water element, they've got a real profound wisdom and a depth to them. They're very highly sensitive and emotional. They feel things really deeply. They value independence and freedom, so they're quite rebellious. They need their own space, so they're quite solitary people. They need serenity and calmness and things. They're quiet and self-contained. They're more likely to be introverted. They march to their own beat and their own clock. So they really struggle to get to places and stick to time limits and things like that. So if we're dressing someone with a lot of water, or if you're someone with a lot of water, they value freedom of self-expression, clothes that are unique or artistic, you know, deep dark colours, asymmetric shapes, fluid fabrics, creative styling. That's the sort of things that someone with a lot of water would be. So they're at their very happiest in their closet when their closet offers them the freedom to be unique.
Yeah.
So they don't want to look like anybody else. They want to just be doing their own thing. Then we have people that have a lot more wood in them. They're a lot more competitive. So they love adventure and they explore by doing. They're doing things. They're action people. So they're dynamic and active, usually athletic, fitness orientated, or their mind is always going. They value action and growth. They're natural coaches and motivators. They love arguing and debating because that brings out that whole competitive part of them. They're humanitarian. They love to encourage others to live a better life. They're the modern day trailblazers. So they value freedom of movement. So if we're thinking that they're the dynamic, active people, they need to be able to move. Their clothes can't restrict them in their movement at all. So active styling is their signature design element, and they're at their happiest in their wardrobe when their closet offers them the freedom to move. They've got to be able to move around. So that's water and wood. Then we have someone with a lot of fire. So they're said to be more charismatic. They have an innate love of life. They're very vivacious, positive, joyful, enthusiastic. They value personal contact and fun. They're very socially orientated. They illuminate, inspire, and uplift people. They're very passionate. They talk fast and they multitask. So that could be, maybe I'm talking too fast. They can become scattered and they're very impulsive. So what they like to wear, their dressing preferences, are those bright sort of colours, reds, purples, angular shapes, lifelike fabrics, dramatic styling are their signature elements there. And they're at their happiest in their closet when they have the freedom to attract attention and start conversations. And two more left, we've got earth. So someone with a lot of earth is a very committed person. So they're the very caring, helpful, sympathetic people. They have an innate love of nature. There's the earth mothers, the teddy bears. They value practical home things. They're homebodies. They nurture everyone around them. They're the nurturers. But that can be to their own detriment because they don't necessarily look after themselves as well as they look after everyone else. They're very good at details and routine tasks, worker bees. They dislike change. They're not so good with swinging around and changing. So when they're getting dressed, their preferences are for practicality. They like traditional clothes, comfortable clothes, earthy sort of tones, textured fabrications, traditional styling. That's where they're going to be very comfortable. And they're at their happiest when their wardrobe is full of clothes that are comfortable for them. So a little bit different from that movement. They've just got to, everything's got to be comfortable and snuggy. And if you think of what we've been through in the pandemic, a lot of people have gone into earth.
Yeah.
You know, we've been wearing tracksuits and big jumpers and all that sort of snuggy things. So we might get a minute that I can say, you know, how we're going to get out of earth if earth is not where we really see. And last but not least, we've got metal. So that's somebody that has, they're quite cultivated. They have a deep love of beauty and they see beauty all around them. They're blessed with inherent good taste. So they're quite meticulous and precise in what they do. They value excellence and order, quality over quantity, cleanliness over chaos. They're very focused and aware. They're very sensitive to energy around them, and they've got to have their home and everything just so. They can appear reserved and aloof. They're quite elegant. So their dressing preferences are quality. So clothes of a high quality. And so this is often the people too, if they can't afford the quality new, they will go to upcycled shops and second-hand shops and things, and because that is the quality is what is important to them. Yeah. Beautiful fabrics, elegant styling. That's their signature things there. And they need the freedom in their wardrobe to dress with quality, to have quality pieces. So, yeah, so that's a little bit about the 5 of them there. So maybe
it's really interesting.
listening.
I know we did it together, and obviously it was a bit of a challenge for me at the beginning because I could see bits, except for Earth, which is probably the one that it's less me of them all. But I could see bits of it in everything, and then we kind of narrowed it down, and now we know. But every time, so I've made some little laminated pieces of paper with all the bits, so that every day I know that what I'm putting in, and I've got a wardrobe. There was a really tiny room when I bought this house, and that tiny room has become my wardrobe, and I've got them up there. And but every time I relook at all the different styles and all the different personalities, etc., I see people I know now, and I think, oh, that's my mom, oh, that's my best friend, oh, and it's incredible because even like my mom has recently visited for the first time in 2 years. We saw each other after the pandemic, and it's incredible how, I don't know, I got her a coat that she really liked. I had one of they're called teddy bear coats, and I got one last year, and she really liked it, so I got her a blue one when she arrived, and it doesn't have a button. So it's a coat that stays kind of loose, but she doesn't like it. She wants it to. So I gave her one of my brooches, and I picked one, and I thought, I'm going to give her this because it's the most classical one I have. And my mom is very classic in the way she wear. And she looked at it and she went, have you not got anything that's not so shiny? I gave you the less shiny. So
yeah, that's right. So what we might see is the least shiny or something. They see is, oh my God, that's just so much. That's just
Yeah, exactly. It's funny how each personality perceives things in a very different way, isn't it? And given we talked about the pandemic, I had a question about this, which was, especially after these 18 months where we all, like, as you said, went a bit into hoodies and tracksuit bottoms and not dressing at all and doing Zooms in our pajamas and things like that. Can you give us some tips on how to progressively go back to actually being dressed?
And that's an interesting thing, because I don't know how far back we're going to go. I don't know if a lot of this more casual is going to stick around for a little while. I've got a feeling that it's going to stick around, and I don't know. And I kind of hope that we don't go back to what we were doing. I really do hope that people do think about what they learned through the pandemic, because I know we've learned a lot, and keep some of those values there. But anyway, I'll get off that high horse and on to tips. So some tips. So often I've been finding with clients that I've been talking to on the phone and things, that they've found that they're feeling like they're in a bit of a funk, or they're just not feeling great about themselves. And it's come down to exactly that they're not wearing clothes that they feel really great in. So where can we start with that is to think about your core values and what they might be, but even just go into your wardrobe and have a look in there, and what are the things that really bring you joy? What are the things that you go, oh, I just feel so good when I wear that. I just love wearing this. And then get that out, put that on. So honour those values and the things that are really important to you on the inside. It's about honouring those values and honouring yourself by wearing those clothes and those values. And I'll tell you one little story. Through this whole pandemic, I've been walking with a couple of girls every morning at 6 a.m. And they got into funks, and they were still working at home via Zoom. So they were doing the tracksuit pants and things. And I said, okay, girls, you're all in a funk and you're not feeling great because you're still looking, you see yourself in the mirror, you're going to the bathroom, and you're in your tracksuit all the time. So it's not, you're not feeling great about yourself. So put a pair of jeans on. It doesn't have to go putting that whole suit back on and all the rest of it. Put your jeans on. Put a really nice pair of shoes on. Just pick one thing and do that. One thing that brings you joy, and do that. Put a little bit of makeup on if that brings you joy. Get some jewelry out. Find something that just brings you that bit of joy and start wearing that. And you'll find that that's an instant mood lifter. And it was funny because the girls were like, oh my goodness, it makes such a difference. And in fact, one of the girls said, right, I'm committing to doing this. And because I don't think I'll do it, because I think I'm going to take the lazy way out and revert back to my tracksuit, I'm committing to sending you a photo every day of what I'm wearing. She said, you don't have to do anything with it, but I'm sending you that photo so that it's making me accountable.
But it's a nice thing. Before the pandemic, I used to do this thing. I collect hats, and I used to do this thing that I used to call a hat a day. And every day I dressed up. I dress, and then I pick a coat, a hat, a pair of gloves if it was winter, a scarf, etc. And then I take some photos and put them on my Instagram with this thing, a hat a day. And then the pandemic hit, and now I've started using my hats again, and I have realized that throughout all of the last winter, nothing has been out of the wardrobe. I have never worn any of my hats, which is incredible because I'm really proud of my collection and I love it. And for me, hats are my thing, are what defines me. So it's incredible. And it's silly because I wear them and I don't think about it, because for me, I wear the hat when I go out and it's not summer. I've got some in summer, but mostly my hats are winter hats. And I had forgotten how much people are not used to it. I get stopped on the street to say how amazing my hats look and how elegant I look, even though I've got a completely normal outfit on, and it's the hat, and I know it's the hat because people are not used to it. And I realized that for the whole of the last winter, I've never used one because I wasn't going anywhere, was I? I was going out for a walk in the park by myself and then coming back. And so I'd wear my walking gear, my walking boots, and my big coat with the fluffy hood, and that's it. And it makes such a difference. As you say, I've got a big mirror on my way to the exit in my house, and it makes such a difference passing that mirror and seeing me like this instead of me in my leggings and my walking boots.
That's right. It's a positive, positive reinforcement.
Yeah, and it sets you up for the day in the mood that you are out for business. Even if then I pass that mirror and turn around and sit in this room, which is where I work from, I still have to pass that mirror though. And this is something I had never thought about, but I go down the stairs, pass the mirror, turn around and sit here. And if I don't have any video calls and I'm not dressed for it, that is the day where I'm going to work a bit and then I'm going to go send a washing and then I'm going to hoover and it's not, I'm not working, isn't it? I'm more like doing something and then doing something around the house, and it makes such a difference. So yeah,
you're less productive. Yeah, I
Yeah.
find that too. And it's funny, through our pandemic here, I dressed up every day to do a post on Instagram, well, not every day religiously, but most days. And I'd get to like, I think, oh, I can't be bothered doing this. Why am I doing this? And then every time that would come into my mind, I'd get a message from somebody somewhere saying, I just look for your post every morning. It makes me so happy. It's making my day. And I'm okay, that's what it's about. If I
I'm
can
going to dress
spread
that.
that joy, I'll get yourself up and get yourself sorted. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's very important. I think the tips you just gave about pick one thing. You don't have to, no one has to dress for a gala night. You just have to put something on that's not your tracksuit bottoms and go for it. I think for me, it also made a big difference because during the pandemic, I didn't maintain my fitness regime. So I came out of it being less fit, more fat. And the reality is, some of the dresses I like don't fit. I look in the mirror and I think you're not, as you wear. So some things are not gonna fit, and this all adds up, isn't it? And
Definitely. And so what I would say to you is the dresses that don't fit, move them away so they're not in your sight all the time. Just move them out of sight, because that will come back. But you don't need to walk into your wardrobe every morning and look at those dresses, because that becomes a negative reinforcement. You say, oh my goodness, these beautiful dresses, oh, I can't wear them. They don't fit. So if you've only got the things that fit there, then you'll create some fantastic outfits in the things that work for you.
Yeah, this is exactly what I did. After we did the thing together, I moved them. And they're still there. They're just in another wardrobe that I don't see. And then whenever they'll fit again, they'll come back. But at the moment, the only things I've got in my wardrobes are things that fit. So I know that even if I'm running in because I'm late and I have to get dressed, anything I pick is going to be okay. So yeah, definitely yes. Really, I don't have any more questions, and I haven't seen any popping up. I've seen a lot of people joining and waving at us and sending a lot of hearts whilst we talk. So it means that it's been really nice and people have really enjoyed the bits, and I hope they have they're taking away quite a lot of tips. You've given us quite a lot of little bits to think about. And as I said, we're going to put all your contacts, as usual, in the description of the post, etc., etc. So when people watch, even in replay, they can ask you questions. They can come on your page and ask any questions they have, or they can put them here in the comments, and then you're going to see them because you're going to be tagged in the big post. So I thank you very, very much for showing up so early in the morning for you, because it is really early in the morning for you.
7 a.m., but that's okay.
Thank you very much. We love you for it. One day we're going to come and visit you, and we're going to do a live from your place.
I will be so excited.
We will. It's on our bucket list to come and visit you. We always say with this platform that we're going to come and visit you. So one day we're going to do it in a time where it's not dawn.
Oh, that will be so good. I'm so excited.
We will. Listen, do you want to give people your contacts? Where do they find you, etc., etc.? I know they're going to be written in places, but it's nice if you give them now.
Okay, so my Instagram is airofdistinction. I'm Suzanne Dekivere, and my website is airofdistinction.com.au.
Fantastic.
And so if you DM me or anything, I'll get straight back to you.
Fabulous. She is, I can confirm, she is really fast. I get back to you. So listen, thank you so much for being with us as usual, and we will speak to you very soon.
Thank you so much. That was a lot of fun. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
We were young and we were free and running, never bothered about what could be coming.